Hey guys, and welcome to a first. It is my first screen capture video, so this is actually not my first, it's my third attempt in the last maybe 3 minutes of doing this, so maybe this will go, maybe it will just be one of the many attempts. I'm going to juggle a lot of stuff here, so bear with me. What I want to do is go over the basics of how you're supposed to complete a video log. Where do you go? Before you do the video log, how do you know what video to watch? After you watch the video, what do you do to practice? How can you further yourself or push yourself? All that kind of stuff. So I want to start with where it does all begin, and I've got my drive right here. I'm going to go to my drive. I've already pulled up this just to make my life a little easier. This is your Algebra 1 skill and pacing overview. Now, you all got this. I offered you the hard copy of it, but it's also will be, not yet, school hasn't started now that I'm making this. You hear my dog in the background. There is no way that I'm going to start this recording over again. So you'll just have to listen to Bella bark at probably the mailman. So anyway, what I was saying is you all have this, and you have it in a hard copy, but you also have it on your Google file for our class. And it's our pacing. It's our it's everything in algebra that you are going to be responsible for. So if we look at this, we have marking period 1 is unit 1 and 2 we'll cover. Marking period 2, we'll go through what I'm calling unit 3. Marking period 3, we'll complete unit 4. And then marking period 4, of course, if you can see it, it is a killer. Unit 5 and unit 6. Hardest stuff we'll do, and we're doing it all at the end of the year. So for those of you that are used to relaxing towards the end of the year, you can probably see that's not gonna be the case. Why is marking period 3 so kind of small here? Well, that's also our NJ Ask or Park, whatever they're calling it. So there's a lot of stuff going on in this time frame, and so it takes away from a little bit of our time. And so this is my expectation. You will exceed my expectation and will most likely surpass these units. In marking period 1, you might go into your unit 3 section, and that's a whole nother video. Right now, I just wanted to give you a look-see at what you already have. And, you know, you can go to your Google Drive if you've lost it. It's right here for you. Now, if you see Unit 1 and Unit 2, that is what you're going to be assessed on. So if you scan through the skills, simplifying evaluating expressions, solving linear equations, solving literal equations, then Unit 2, solving absolute values, solving and graphing inequalities, solving and graphing compound inequalities, translating expressions and equations, word problems involving numbers, consecutive integers, age, digits, perimeter, and don't forget, irrational numbers. That is a lot. So without freaking out, let's just look at Unit 1. What I've done for you is I have made, I'm scanning through all of my stuff here, pacing overview, that's what that was. I think I've got to go here. I have made for you, it's in my pictures. Oh my goodness, I hope there's no crazy pictures of me in my pictures. Oh, luckily it's actually pulled up. Let's see. Oh, that's a screenshot of Minecraft, Survival Craft, not Minecraft. That's another story. We'll talk about it later. Here's something you've already seen also. At the beginning of school, I gave you a printout of what you're expected to know, a test that you are going to be taking for me, an assessment you're going to be taking for me to show me that you have mastered the Unit 1 skills. So you're looking here at something you already have in a much bigger form. I can zoom in. You have simplifying expressions, solving equations, writing algebraic expressions, evaluating the values of given expressions, and solving proportions. Now, what I've done is, that's the assessment. You're looking at it. I'm giving it to you. I'm giving you the assessment you're going to take. Don't get too excited. We've already talked about how the numbers will change. The skills will remain, but to protect the innocent, the numbers will be changed. Okay, sorry, it's getting late. I'm getting a little bit punchy. Moving over here, what I also gave you, and you also know this, is I gave you a more extensive practice of all of those skills. So if I swing back here, see how simplifying expressions is only 6 problems? That's because on the assessment, I really only need 6 problems to get a feel for if you know all the different variations of simplifying expressions that I need you to be proficient in to be successful in this class. Well, if we come over here, we're going to see 10. Instead of 6, we see 10. Well, that's because this is not the assessment. This is a sheet that I've made from the assessment for you for practice so that you can decide whether or not you're ready to take the assessment. If we look here where it says solving equations, come back over here, see on the actual assessment, there's only 6. I've given you from, I've given you from 11 to 20. Okay? That's 2, 4, 5, 10. That's 10 problems. Again. Now, if I turn the page, there's the rest of them. So you're going to see, look at proportions. Proportions. Look how many there. 2, 4, 6. That's 12. But on the actual assessment, only 4. See that? Only 4. But look at them. I must think you need extra practice in proportions. I bet I'm thinking you've had the least amount of practice in those. And so that's what you're looking at here. Again, you've already seen this. You already know you have this. So not only do you have your pacing that tells you the specific skills, you now have the assessment of those skills, and you have a practice worksheet in those skills so that you can do the practice. But how do you learn the skills? What if you're looking at this saying, I don't know how to do problem number 18. How do you do that? And so enter the videos. That's why we have videos for you. So let me go, and I'm going to go the long way. I am going to go to YouTube, not Khan Academy. I am going to go to YouTube. And I'm going to pretend I don't know the link. I haven't subscribed to Mrs. Caruso's channel like I've been told to do countless times. I'm just going to go in and hope for the best. And so here I go. I'm going in. I'm hoping for the best. I am going to type Caruso Amy. That would be a good one. My first name. And then I'm going to do Algebra. And hope I'm lucky. There it is. Now, there's my what do you call it? You know, a thingy. What do you call that? Come on, say it so I can hear you. I can't hear you. Avatar. Okay, that's my avatar. You can always look for my eagle. And then here, of course, is my channel. Subscribe, people. Subscribe to my channel, please. You need to subscribe so that you can get the notices that I've put on a new video. And now here's the video. A couple really cool videos that you have probably already seen. There's the farewell and welcome. That was a good one to watch, farewell and welcome. There's the Greek alphabet story, which most likely by now we have gone over the Greek alphabet story. If not, that's a fun one. I can't wait to do that with you. And here we go. This is the one I want to talk about, solving multi-step equations. This will be your the first video that you're going to do a video log on. So let me click on this. And of course, you know how to watch a video in YouTube. I don't need to show you how to do that. But down below, there's a bunch of my videos just left for you. I'm also upstairs. Really bad reception up here. Okay, I'm going to pause it because I don't really need you to see. I'm going to pause it. I'm trying to pause it. Okay, now my dog's barking. So, you can watch the video, okay, or you can fast forward the video. You can fill it out as you go and pause me and then write, or you can watch the whole video and then go back. But the important thing to understand is you're going to need to fill out the video log. So let me take you to the video log, which again is in your Google file. But just in case, I did take a picture of the video log somewhere. I'm not saying where. There's the video log. Now, I filled it in. This is my video log, and I wanted to show this to you. You can play this later and watch. Apologies for using pencil. Wasn't really thinking about how that would not translate well on screen. But it asks you, date viewed, standard or skill, video title, source, problems and solutions. So let me just go over this. I don't need to tell you about date, but date viewed is not necessarily the day you should have viewed it. It's the day you did view it. And that's really important for me because I want to be able to see when you saw these things so that I can get an idea. Why aren't you understanding how to do a particular skill? Oh, well, it's because you didn't view the video until X day. And probably would have been a better idea if you'd viewed it on a day before, but it's really important not to cheat on that, guys. Write the true date. Now, the standard skill, a lot of times it's a lot like the titles. Don't freak out about it. I don't need you to actually cite the standards. Standards can be long and complicated. I will be giving you and posting a list of the actual state standards. But they're kind of, they're tricky to understand with the wording that they use. So go ahead and just use that overview, the pacing that I gave you as a guide to what the standards are. They're kind of in layman's terms. The video title, which is Solving Multi-Step Linear Equations. It's the name of the video, and the source almost always is YouTube, but it could be Khan Academy. It could be EduCreations. It could be TeacherTube. It could be a bunch of different options that I'll be giving you. Here's the one that I think is going to probably confuse the most people, and that's why I wanted to write it. Really super important, and I know it sounds redundant, but do it anyway. Trust me on this. Problem and solution. I'm going to pull it up a little bit so you can just focus on that at the top. Problems and solution. I want you to go through the video and just record the problem that I gave you and the answer that I got. Problem that I gave you, answer that I got. You're going to see on this video, I only do 2 problems. So there they are, written with their answer. I want you to think about why I would want you to do that. Why would I want you on this form that is yours to keep in the section of your binder labeled video log? Why would I want you to do that? Yes, this is me waiting for you to answer. Thank you. You rock out there. Thank you for saying it. Why is everybody so shy to talk? I want you to write these because they're excellent review methods. You think you're ready for my assessment? You think you're ready for my assessment? You don't know ready for my assessment unless you practice. So after a week, you're not going to remember this problem. Go back, go over all your video log sheets and try the problems. And look, the answer's right there. So you don't have to go look back in your notes. It's right on your video log under Problems and Solutions. Now you see, I wrote process, please use separate paper. This is just not enough room. I put a check, just like my own, it's my own, OCD kind of way of being, or I got to really just make sure I do something or write something whenever I'm asked to. I just put a check to note that I did secure that, and I'm going to show that to you in a minute. Now, after you watch this video, look at all the vocabulary I wrote. To me, vocabulary is any word that kind of, I don't know, it's like a little alarm went off in your mind. Like, whoop, whoop, wow, that's an interesting word. That's a good word. That's a cool vocabulary word. So on this video, after you've seen it, or if you've already seen it, I say distributive property. I use the word transpose, and I'm looking at it hoping I spelled it right. And in this case, because I thought maybe you hadn't used the word transpose before, I actually wrote the definition, move terms across the equal sign. Like terms, constant, no solution, all real numbers, all vocabulary and wording and phrasing that I'm thinking, if I was listening to it for the first time, I would think that those were kind of important words, or possibly words I didn't understand. Lastly, the one that probably needs the most explanation is the easiest. Extension. Clarification, additional problems, or generalizations. This isn't an option. It doesn't say like bonus at the bottom. It says extension. I know you might think extension means bonus. It's really important. This is the best part, because when you see the video, you're going to see a lot of problems that I show you on the screen that I don't do. So let's write those down. I only picked a couple. I picked 3, and one of them was a no solution. And if you watch the video, you probably remember me saying, don't do the no solutions. But I thought to myself, someday she's going to tell me to do a no solution. And they must be a little bit different because she said not to do them. So you know what? I'm going to write it down. And that's exactly what I did. You can't go wrong here. What does clarification mean? It means if I watch this video and I feel like I got it all, I just maybe write some extra problems. If I watch this video and I'm confused, I'm going to write that down. I'm going to just write, what do you mean by divide the field? Or why did you add 15 instead of subtract 15? Or what did you mean by combine? Why didn't we use opposite operation to combine? Like any of that, just put that in words, or just maybe copy a step. This is your place to make a note for yourself of questions you want to ask me or your classmates when you come back and we start really working in class. Lastly, a generalization. Maybe you just want to do let me see, maybe you just want to generalize something or a fact that you didn't know but now you understand. Maybe you want to say, oh, so I always transpose after I've simplified both sides. You could just write that. I always transpose after I've simplified both sides. Or maybe you write, always do distributive property before adding and subtracting to both sides. All those things, those are generalizations. I'm just going to make a statement that I get. And that's also important. Anything you put there is just kind of showing me either confusion or understanding. And here, okay, where is it? Oh, it's back the other way. Here's my process. Now, I did put this in my binder. It's one after the other, so this comes next. I don't staple. This is the process for the first one, the negative 16 plus 5n. And this is the process for the second one. And then, even better, this is process for one that nobody asked me to do. It's process for one that I saw on the video. And you're going to see it's one that I actually wrote down at the very bottom because I thought, wow, that's a really saucy problem. I wonder if I could actually do it. If I can do that problem, then I just may be ready to assess on this entire skill. So I tried it and I got it right. And how did I know? Because I'd already written the answer. So I knew I got it right. And I'm feeling pretty confident at this point. And I might say to myself, you know what, self? If I look back here, right, at this test she said that we were going to be taking, I think I can handle 1 through 12 no problem. In fact, maybe I'm going to try 1 or 2 of these, and in fact, maybe I'm going to try 1 or 2 of these, because 1 through 20 is all dealing with that kind of a skill. And if I'm ready, maybe I'm ready to assess on the skill. And you will be assessing on each individual skill as well as taking a unit assessment. This is a unit assessment. It covers everything in the unit. And as I'm looking at it, I'm noticing I don't believe I see literal equations. And I thought literal equations were unit 1. That's something I have to look up. This tells you everything you'll be assessing for the unit. It's a unit assessment. But each one of these sections, the simplify, the solve, the write the algebraic, those are all individual skills that you need to assess on. And now you might be thinking, shoot, I think I can assess on simplifying expressions and solving equations. Piece of cake. All right, guys, that's all for today. And that is really should be enough. I'm exhausted. I hope you are, because if you're exhausted, it means you stuck with it the entire recording. I'm proud of you. Now, if you haven't already, go watch that video. You know the video I'm talking about? Not that. Does anybody ever get confused between Safari and that? This video. I want you to watch this video, take the notes, fill in the video log, do what you're supposed to do. I'm telling you, you are going to feel great about yourself. And you know what? This is Mrs. C, and I am going to see you on the flip side.